Nama saya Nasima, umur saya 16 tahun. Ayah sudah meninggal, mak di sini dengan saya. Saya duduk dengan seorang abang. Abang punya anak. Abang buat kerja macam elektrik. Mak duduk rumah je. Saya sudah belajar di sini 6 tahun. Saya duduk di sini pun 6 tahun saja.
Since the 1970s, Myanmar people have been fleeing to Malaysia because of the arms conflict between Buddhists and Muslims. Until March 2017, there are 88.9% of refugees registered with UNHCR from Myanmar in Malaysia, and the population is 134,175. There are 20,000 Myanmar refugees are making a living in Selayang, Kuala Lumpur. In Malaysia, over 11,000 refugee children are school-going ages. Some private schools offer education for Myanmar refugee children, like Selayang Madrasah Hashimiyah. This private religious school has been founded 13 years ago by Hashim, who is a Myanmar refugee as well.
Sekarang ni kita sini bangunan bayaran elektrik apa ni, alhamdulillah boleh pusing. Bayaran itu bangunan ni begitu sudah dia bayar.
This is the school where Nasima is studying at.
Saya belajar di Madrasah Hashimiyah. Sekarang mereka ajaran bahasa Myanmar, bahasa English, matematik, sains, tu kelas darjah 1, kelas darjah 3 dengan 2. Darjah 5, darjah 4, aras 3. Aras 3 tu duduk buka puasa. Masa pun semua di sini. Sekarang ajaran Al-Quran dan Hafiz. Tu ustaz dengan Al-Quran. Rehana dengan Majina, saya punya best friend. Dia sekarang baca Al-Quran. Wa in yaqtulukum fama'udhu alladhi yansurukum min ba'di wa 'ala Al-Quran dengan bahasa Myanmar, bahasa English, bahasa matematik, bahasa sains, bahasa Melayu, bahasa English. Sekarang ajar Al-Quran dengan bahasa English saja.
So bahasa Inggeris ini ada cikgu?
Ada. Seminggu sekali. Sekali. Hari Rabu. Tu almari untuk budak-budak. Satu paling besar jaga paling kecil. Sekarang dia orang untuk buka puasa masakan bubur. Wow, wanginya.
The current situation of education for Rohingya refugee children is confronting a lot of challenges. Like health care or accommodation, education can cost a great amount of money.
Written Rohingya Society cooperate with government and UNHCR and NGOs to provide help for refugee children. So,
yeah, that's only the news, but not
okay.
How shall I say? It's not practice yet.
Due to domestic financial difficulties, many children cannot go to school like Nasima.
Most of the children, they cannot go to school, so some of those, they just only want to make money and to go to to the work when they turn to 14 to 15 years old. So they start working.
Selepas sekolah, pergi rumah rehat dan tolong mak cuci pinggan, bersih rumah.
Ai đó là sự mà đi lấy cho mà lấy mà quên tỏ đấy lúc cáo này kiểu đấy bỏ và phía trên này.
None like other immigrants, Nasima lives in Malaysia as a refugee, but the Malaysian government does not take in refugee. In other words, Nasima's identity is recognized as a legal immigrant according to Malaysian government.
Saya baru sampai sini ada masalah banyak, macam tak pandai cakap bahasa Melayu, tak pandai cakap bahasa English, tapi makanan, minuman semua susah lah. Tapi sekarang ada senang sikit je. 3 tahun selepas baru dapat UNHCR. Sebelum dapat UNHCR ada susah banyak, macam kerja, makanan, minuman, duduk semua suka tak cukup gaji. Selepas UNHCR dapat, senang sikit. Boleh kerja di kilang saja.
With an identity of illegal immigrant, lucky as Nasima is, after graduating from the community school, a refugee teenager cannot find a decent job to support his or her family. They are living on the edge of the society.
A lot of times when our kids first started the business, they couldn't speak a word of English at all. They couldn't read and write. They couldn't. There's some things they couldn't do lah. But the only thing that they had with them was a hunger for education, a hunger to further improve themselves, the hunger to better themselves. And so they came to school every day. And I think just within the span of a year, kids who couldn't read and write could write short essays. Kids who couldn't speak a word of English were communicating well with the other kids. Then kids, I think 2 years after that, kids who couldn't speak a word of English started being refugee teachers at other refugee schools. And today the workshop is really about how do we empower the communities to come to that place, how do we involve them in the decision making. While these communities that we go into have a lot of issues, the solutions are also amongst them. It's not for us to give them the solutions, because who are we? I mean, we don't come from similar backgrounds as them. We don't grow up in the environments. A lot of times refugees, whoever, the local born poor, the migrant workers, we have to learn to look at them as equals, because only when we learn to look at them as equals, we learn to treat them just like how we treat our friends and family, can we fully empower them.
Alhamdulillah kita campur tangankan itu Budi Suci, Budi Foundation kita campur tangan, kita mau lagi ada pelang jam juga, training center. Sini 3 bangunan saja kita tempat ada training. Kita sana sewa training macam juga. Kita cai, kita kasih lembut, potong lembut, masak, cooking.
Saya nak jadi seorang cikgu. Kalau anak-anak di sini ada susahkan pergi sekolah, ada susahkan, dia pun susahkan. So saya nak macam tolong ajaran dia.
The situation of refugee children in Malaysia has been improved steadily thanks to NGOs and many others' aid. But those innocent children are far away from living in fearless and dignified lives. What we are trying to do is to make public more aware of this group of lives. More care, less prejudice.